What's up, everybody? How's it going? It's Bo here from Country Squire Radio, and yeah, uh, let's see. Oh, I wonder if I flip this upside down, is that going to cause problems? It always happens. Y'all know this always happens, but it's one of those things where I feel like I'm looking in the wrong place. Okay, boom. Now I think I can actually look in the right place. I know it drives people crazy because I'll look over here, but it's actually over here. So we'll see how all that goes. Hope y'all are doing well today. I am out here on this beautiful day here in Houston, Texas, and going to be enjoying some Rivendell. I actually enjoyed this for Hobbit Day a couple days ago, so really excited to bust this back open. It's kind of one of those things, you know, there's like a pipe tobacco you haven't smoked in a minute, and then you're like, oh my goodness, I forgot how good this was. that's Rivendell. All right, y'all. I hope the noise isn't too bad. There's, I think our neighbors are. I don't know what they're doing, but there's some sort of machinery going on in the way that they're caring for their yard right now. So hopefully it's not too bad. Um, hey, what's going on, Portland? How's it going? Whew. Oh, that's so good. So like I said, I got some Rivendell. Got a beautiful Missouri Meerschaum pipe. We're going to be packing that up with right here. Before we get started talking about what we're going to talk about. How y'all doing today? Everybody doing good? Tried to time this so that it was around lunchtime for folks, but at the same time, I know, you know, time zones being what they are, and then also some people like to eat late, some people like to eat early. I'm more of an early eater just because I end up having breakfast kind of early. Although lately I've been skipping lunch a little bit more than I probably should. Yes, sir, it is. Actually, okay, so this is yes and no, Portland. As y'all know, I've got quite a few Missouri Meerschaums in my collection. And this is actually, so I've had this probably for about 2 years, but I haven't actually gotten a chance to smoke it. So this is my first time actually smoking this one. And part of the reason is because generally I save my Missouri Meerschaum pipes to share with friends. And I believe I mentioned, I think this has gone out on an episode, but recently I was in Arkansas for a recording retreat for another show. And, you know, whenever I travel, I always bring my pipes. And especially when I'm traveling with friends, especially friends I know, you know, one of the guys I was with, I know smokes a pipe, the other one didn't. But I always like to bring a Missouri Meerschaum like a spare, just in case, you know, somebody wanted to, you know, try smoking a pipe. Missouri Meerschaum's great for that. It's inexpensive, and then also if they like it, you can just give it to them. You know, they're not too expensive. So that's one of the reasons why I love Missouri Meerschaum. But anyway, so this is actually the one, I love this shape, but this is actually the one of the ones that I brought with me that I was going to hook my buddy up if he ended up smoking a pipe. He ended up not going for it, which is fine. But, you know, it's kind of one of those things you're kind of staring at it and like, well, I want to smoke. So I've still got quite a few Missouri Meerschaums that are in my, you know, for visitors and friends and trips and that sort of thing. But this one is about to get initiated into my personal rotation. Oh yeah, always good to keep a spare pipe in your bag for just such an occasion, for sure. But I'm excited for it. Ooh. Mm. Man, y'all don't know. Rivendell, I mean, like that, to me, that's the smell of the Squire, just because I ended up smoking so much of this back when I lived in Jackson. It was like my go-to pipe tobacco at the Squire. Woo. Mm. You know, I've said it before, but smell is just so tied to memory, and I think that's part of the reason why we love this. You know, because it's an art form that connects us with that kind of that's the so many of our senses, but especially smell, and it has such a powerful impact on us. I did not actually plan it like this because I really was just smoking it because I wanted to, but it seems appropriate because today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the Country Squire ring. Now, for those who've tuned in for our last few episodes, y'all know we partnered with the good folks at Sylvan Forge Creations to bring y'all the Country Squire ring. Now, this is so cool. It comes in a little parcel like this, a little wooden parcel. Let's see, as I deal with the sunlight here. A little bit of twine, and it's one of those things that I always love companies that understand the importance of the product before you actually see the product. The unboxing, I think, is kind of the YouTube thing, right? But even before unboxing became a thing, how we received a product communicated instantly kind of what that experience should be like. And so that's something that I didn't even know they did this before we actually got our rings. And I was so thrilled. I think he had kind of described this a little bit, but I just didn't know just how cool this was. And I had every intention of actually unboxing it on YouTube as kind of part of it when we kind of announced it. But I couldn't wait. Like, I was so excited for it. I immediately untied it, immediately opened it up. My wife actually ended up tying it back up and everything so I could show it off here. But I was really excited. I wanted to see what the ring looked like. And for those who have not seen it yet, this is it right here. Now, again, I'm kind of competing with the sun, but it's a beautiful ring. That's Mimo Briar, right in the, that central band right there. It's got gold on either side, and then kind of the internal band and kind of, I guess, I don't know the anatomy of a ring to be able to call it what it is, but basically, as you can see, it's got kind of the black casing to it. And it's an awesome ring. Now, I got mine fitted for my middle finger. Don't read into that too much. I just, my wife was like, is that so you could actually show people, like, when they ask you about the ring, you can show the people the ring? I was like, no, that's not. I wasn't trying to flip anybody off by doing it with the middle finger. I just thought that was a cool place to put it. Generally speaking, did I bring? No, I didn't. I mentioned that I've got another ring that I'll wear, which is a family ring, and that one was sized for my grandfather, but was not sized for me. And so I probably, if I was to size for that ring, I probably would have sized it for either this one or this one. But really, it only fits my index finger for whatever reason. So I typically end up wearing that one there. I don't wear multiple rings or anything of that nature at the same time. But man, this one is like so handsome. Like, it has been kind of my go-to in terms of when we go out, and honestly even just around the house. The other thing too is recently got a watch, and this is such a weird thing. And like I don't think I've talked about this on the podcast because I didn't know exactly how to explain it without showing it. Hang on a second. All right, this is the challenge of the Bic lighter. I'm a big proponent of the Bic lighter, but the wind is not helping me. By the way, that is a Missouri Meerschaum Bic lighter right there. All right, come on. All right. See, I should have been better prepared, y'all. I'll have to get matches after I turn this off. But anyway, regardless, so I got this watch, and I had every intention of wearing this watch on my right arm. But then as I started using it, I'm right eye dominant, but I'm left hand dominant, or I forget what the terminology is. But it's one of those situations where I ended up using it on my left hand. I thought I was going to be on my right hand, and it was on my left. And there's like a what do you call it? Like there's a word for it, but there's the gripping of the watch, and then also my wedding band, and I have all this on my left arm. And honestly, wearing the ring on the right hand actually kind of balances it out. That sounds strange, but if you wear kind of your watch and your wedding ring on the same hand, you'll know what I mean as soon as you kind of put on the ring. It's kind of like it balances you out in kind of an interesting way. But anyway, yeah, it's a really cool ring, and so we really enjoyed working with the good folks at Sylvan Forge Creations. Again, you get this beautiful little box that comes along with it as well. And the link to get it is up on the website. CountrySquireRadio.com. And so big shout out to everybody who's already got theirs. Y'all, if y'all need help getting the ring, your fingers sized, they do have a guide, and you can use their guide. They can actually ship you kind of a sizing guide as well. I think it's $5 shipping, but they give you a $5 credit for doing it, so it balances out. What I did is I just went down to the local mall, and I went down to the jeweler, and I said, hey, can you size me for a ring? It was real easy. They had like literally a ring of rings, and they put it on all my fingers to figure out what size it was. That's what it was. I'd let them know, and that's what I got. And so it was super simple to do. I think we get a little intimidated for it, but the funny thing is I was telling John David that that's what I did because he did it on his own. He was like, "Oh yeah, I remember doing that from a wedding ring." I was like, "Yeah, exactly. It's just the exact same process. So super easy." But I know it's a little complicated to us because it's not something we like normally do, right? So anyway, so I encourage y'all to go out to the local jewelers and do that if you don't want to use their setup, but they've got that for you as well if you do decide to do it. There are 50 of those things. I believe, actually, I don't know what the most recent numbers are. I do know we still have some that are available. So if y'all want to get your rings, go ahead and get sized. Go ahead and get those in while we've got them available. So again, countrysquireradio.com is the place. Click on the link and yeah, get your order in. I am about to go and switch this out for some matches because I've got a lot of really delicious pipe tobacco. And well, you know what? Hang on, let me see. If I can get this lit, then I can hang out for a little bit longer, which I'd like to do. But if not, I'm cutting this off and going to get my matches. Come on now. There we go. We're back in business. Oh, we are back in business. Y'all, we're really excited. We've got, last couple times I've jumped on here, I think I've shared with y'all, we've been looking ahead to the future and kind of, while looking ahead to the future of Country Squire Radio, really kind of looking back to the beginning and talking about kind of what inspired the show and how we want to incorporate really kind of our initial vision for the show into where we're going next. And I am super, super excited. John Dave and I have been like fired up creatively about some of the things that are coming at the beginning of the year. We've actually, I don't know if I should share this or not, but I think I'm going to anyway. As I'm sure, it's so interesting because we talk to people and, we're a professional podcast in many regards, but one of the things that we have not done with a good consistency is planning out content in advance. Now, generally, we try to, like, we had good chunks of, like, about 4 episodes, in advance. And even now, in terms of our recording rotation, we're trying to kind of stay ahead of the game so we don't end up in a situation where, we don't have content for y'all. And so, it's kind of forced us to be a little bit more planning ahead. But y'all, we've got like literally the rest of the year plotted out with the shows that we have. Some great shows. We've got one coming out for y'all next week. We've got one coming out for y'all next week. I really, really enjoyed putting together for y'all. We both did. That'll be essentially our Halloween episode, but it's kind of a Halloween episode by accident. We're essentially we're looking into a pipe-smoking hero of the bowl, a tortured soul, which makes sense for a Halloween episode, and somebody with a really interesting history. Yeah, right, professional, exactly. We're going to be talking about Vincent van Gogh next week. And what's so fascinating, and hopefully y'all will see this as we kind of go throughout his history, is he was an individual who was very much a tortured soul, and he would go through these extreme bouts of depression, these extreme bouts of self-destruction, followed by these brief moments of respite and peace where the people who loved him tried to comfort him, tried to save him to some extent, save him from his personal demons. And those are the moments where you see the pipe appear in his artwork. And it's really, really interesting, like, to track that along. Because you look at like and I mean, I don't want to give away the episode, you're gonna hear it, but I mean, like, you get into some of like kind of those personal vices that kind of cause such self-destruction for him. A big one being absinthe. But then you look at the pipe and where that plays in, and it's really more of when that moment of comfort, that moment of peace. we had a real fun time with that episode. So I'm looking forward to y'all enjoying that. That's going to be next week. Of course, we've got our kind of a suite of holiday episodes around Christmas that we do every single year, kind of those specials. And then we've got our tracking and packing that we do for Thanksgiving every year, which we're looking forward to. And of course, we have got our best of coming up. So y'all be thinking, we'll as we get closer, probably to December, might be mid-November, we'll start really kind of encouraging y'all to send in y'all's recommendations, and we'll announce all the different categories for best of for this year. But looking forward to hearing from y'all and who y'all think was the best of in 2021. It's going to be a good closeout to a long year, but and also kind of a short year at the same time. It was weird like that. Not sure how bad this noise is coming through, but it is definitely kind of not creating the best recording environment for me right now. I'm about to wrap things up and head on. Again, if y'all want to get y'all's Country Squire Radio rings, head over to countrysquireradio.com. You'll find the banner there. If you need to get sized for it, your local jeweler can do it, or the good folks at Sylvan Forge Creations have a sizing guide as well that you can use. 50 of them in total. I've already sold through a great deal, many of them, but there are some still left, so go ahead and get y'all's while you can. I think that's going to do it for me for right now. Hope y'all have a great day. Are you on a fanboy? It's that bad? I knew it would be. John, or rather Joan, I'm sorry. I have no idea what's going on next door. Clearly they didn't know I was going to do this, so kind of is what it is. But anyway, I'll talk to y'all soon. Always love doing these and jumping on, so hopefully next time I'll be able to do it when neighbors are a little bit more chill. Bye, y'all.